Paranormal Punches is part of the Podbelly Network. Go to podbelly.com for more great podcasts.
Hey y'all, this is Frank the Bigfoot, and you're listening to the Paranormal Punchers.
Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Paranormal Punchers. This time around, we're going to talk about an evil, shape-shifting, baby-eating creature from the Philippines, the Aswang.
Aswang.
5 seconds. This is how long it took you.
Yep, that was it.
Aswang.
Aswang.
A-S-W-A-N-G. Everybody can thank Kevin J. for what you're about to hear.
That's right. That's right.
All right. To the Philippines. Lish.
We never
Hey,
introduced ourselves.
who started this podcast over here? Who started talking? I don't know. I don't know who you are.
Man, we're right. We're ruining the whole episode right out of the gate.
That's
right. Hey, friends. I'm Mark.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Nash.
I'm Dave.
And we are the Paranormal Punchers. All right. Is everybody happy now?
There,
Okay.
thank
Can we,
you.
Nobody knew.
let's go to the Philippines.
Okay. The word I kept seeing in reference to the Aswang was umbrella. The name Aswang is the umbrella term for various shape-shifting evil creatures in the Filipino mythologies and culture. It is one of the most feared creatures in the Philippines, and depending on what region you're in, it could be a vampire or a ghoul.
What?
A ghoul?
A ghoul?
Ghoul?
A ghoul? Or like a bird. What kind of ghoul are you talking about?
Ghoul.
Oh, a ghoul.
A ghoul.
A ghoul. A ghoul.
Okay. Or
Not a soccer goal.
Yeah. Or a seagull.
Because that's some shape-shifting. If you turn into like a
Oh, if you could turn into like a FIFA soccer ball,
Right.
that would suck.
Okay. It could be a vampire or a
Then
ghoul
you would be an Aswang.
or a witch or a werebeast. I'm talking over you now. So the term Aswang is an aggregate of a multitude of creatures that can be arranged into categories that kind of coordinate with the paranormal creatures that we in the West all can recognize and understand. Now, because the definitions and the stories of the Aswang vary so much, there's no specific set of characteristics, but there is one common concern for the Aswang. They are shapeshifters. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as the categories for the various creatures go, there's the vampire. The vampire Aswang disguises...
What? I'm just going to leave it.
I know.
It's like its name, the Vampire Aswang.
It disguises itself.
Disguises itself as a beautiful woman and drinks the blood of its victims. Now, it doesn't use sharp teeth, though. It uses a long nose to suck up the blood.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I got it.
Go for it.
So it not just does that. There's a whole other thing it does before it does that.
Oh, go for it.
So the vampire Aswang, I try to slide a little southern accent. Aswang.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so what it does...
I can hear the
Yeah.
everybody turning the podcast off.
So more often than not, the vampires are most of the time women.
Yes.
Okay. And what it does before, it's like a proboscis for like a butterfly or a moth.
Okay.
Okay. It actually separates from the bottom half of its own body. Okay.
I
Yeah.
thought that was in the viscera sucker.
Well, they're so similar.
There's a different
I know.
name for what you're talking
Yeah.
Am I talking about the viscera
Yeah,
one?
you're talking about that one.
Oh, my apologies. The
It's okay.
proboscis
That's what
is
you
what.
That's what happens when you interrupt Alicia.
Well, it was, yeah.
We'll get to it, though.
Okay.
And then you can
Okay, cool.
you can tell me.
Save
Excited by
that thought.
I know.
Is this disgusting?
The vampire Aswang lives in the forest far away from humans, but will infiltrate a town by marrying into it, where they will either drain their husband or use the marriage as a decoy to go out to other towns. Okay. Now, the witch...
They're also called in-laws.
The witch Aswang has extreme vengeful characteristics and will tend to curse people by making objects seep out of their orifices.
That's awesome.
I know, such as insects or bones.
So hold on.
Which orifice is that coming out of?
Well, you've got quite a few. So
Bones or insects coming out of your orifices. Mm-hmm. Or yeah, okay.
yeah,
That's not good.
no. Now
Thank you, Dr. Nash.
they have elongated irises, and their eyes actually have a reflection that appear upside down. So that is one way that you can figure out that they are one. If you're looking at it and you're upside down in their eyes,
In their reflection.
yeah, in their reflection, then
You're screwed.
yeah, you're screwed. But
But it's kind of off-putting to like anybody or some random stranger. You're going to look deeply into their eyes to see if you're upside down.
Oh, there's other ways
Right.
to tell someone's an Aswang.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get there.
yeah. Now the ghoul or ghoul,
The goal
yeah,
of this podcast.
The goal of the ghoul?
yeah, the ghoul Aswang are described as human-like, and they eat human corpses. So kind of like a zombie, really. Their nails and teeth are very sharp and very strong in order to assist in eating the said
You
corpse.
got to cut it up.
Yeah.
Little bits.
Yeah.
So they're civilized.
I don't know about that.
Well, they're not just like hogging down a leg. They got to cut it up into little bits.
Well, I think they're just tearing apart.
Oh, okay.
Ripping and shredding.
Yeah.
I was just imagining the ghoul sitting there with the leg on the table, with a leg and a foot, and he's like, "Hold on for a second. This is very nice. I'll take
no.
my leg medium rare."
Now, they also smell very rank, obviously due to their diet, and they tend to be found in trees near the cemeteries.
Okay.
So they can get a fresh corpse, I guess. Now, the viscera sucker, which I know,
It's disgusting.
it's also known as the meningol.
Meningol?
Meningol? Sure.
Meningol?
Yeah, it's a
Gotta
long
keep
word.
trying.
Meningitis? I don't know.
And it enjoys eating internal organs or the phlegm from sick people, which is disgusting.
Right.
Or fetuses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that detaches from its lower half.
Yes.
Grows bat wings and flies around, looking for pregnant people.
Yep.
And then the proboscis comes out and does something even worse
Yeah.
to suck out a fetus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can it reattach to its lower half then?
I guess I would imagine. I mean, I imagine it does its job, and it's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I want to go for a hike, and I got to go find my legs.
Yeah. During the day, it takes the form of an attractive, long-haired girl, but at night, then yes,
I wonder what
grows
hap-
wings
I
and
wonder what would happen if you just like mix up the legs. That would be a fun trick.
Or steal them
Yeah.
so it can't rejoin with its
Yeah.
lower half.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't be stealing. I would be destroying. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Or hold it for ransom.
I don't see that ending happily for you.
No. Yeah, it has a particular taste for fetuses, which I think you had mentioned.
That's disgusting.
I know.
And I want to know about the proboscis. That's a sentence we should soundbite
I know.
right there. I want to know about the proboscis.
Oh boy.
So is it like sucking it out, or is it like
Yeah, I
a
think
sawtooth kind of a thing?
No, it's a narrow tubular tongue. So I
So
think it's
the
just,
tongue goes.
Yeah, it goes
Where-
inside.
Okay.
It goes inside.
Got it.
And then
Because the
sucks it
person
out.
doesn't come apart like the viscera person does. So there's only a couple ways to get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a north or south. So, and the north is the hard way. So, just saying, it's not good, not pretty.
Now, the viscera sucker, it lives in the jungle, but has also been known to infiltrate via marriage as well. So,
I wonder if the viscera sucker can have children.
No, I found that the overall the Aswang cannot
reproduce.
Okay.
Okay, because I was just thinking.
You could create,
Yeah.
but you can't impregnate.
I was thinking marry into it's a female. Most of them are females.
I
too.
think most of them are, yeah. Actually, I think all of them might be female, but anyway.
My wife.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna make
There's a wife joke. There's a wife joke. I don't know what it is, but there's a wife joke in there.
No, go ahead, Stephanie.
No, I can't.
I'm sure she's listening.
I can't think of one. It's going to take me a little while to come up with it. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna
I'm
go over
excited to hear what
the.
you come up with.
I'm gonna go over the last category.
Okay.
Okay. And it is a were-dog or were-beast. Okay. Like some of the others, were-dog Aswang infiltrates villages, and around midnight, it turns into a creature. The creature is usually a dog, but it has also been known to become a cat or a pig.
Or a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah? Oh.
And they're all larger than normal and black.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think it's as big as possibly a dire wolf, but it's definitely like I was thinking like what is it when they say a large dog? Are they thinking like Great Dane? Are they thinking if they saw in the Philippines a Great Dane, would they be like that's straight up that doesn't matter that's a Aswang, because that's the biggest dog. It's as big as a person,
Right.
or is it even bigger?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But you could tell if it's an Aswang because it has glowing red eyes.
That's awesome.
And also, it's missing its tail. So,
Huh.
I know.
So someone docked it.
Someone got the tail. Poor guy. He's probably pissed about that.
Now, there are a few more kinds.
Okay.
There's one, a porcine,
A what?
Porcine.
Okay.
It is a common configuration of a scaled up pig. So it's a pig, but it's big. And
I'd have to look at it like a dragon scales, like a pig with dragon scales on it, because you said scaled up.
yeah.
But
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, they're not scaled.
They're just a giant sized pig.
It's giant sized pig,
Like
and that's usually the dead giveaway that pig is an Aswang because it's big.
huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
Like a
Right.
dire pig. Oh, wouldn't you? That'd be something. That's what we should come across in D&D is a dire pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also flying ones,
Yeah.
sometimes called tick tick.
Or bin
Yep.
bin or walk walks.
Yep. Or sock.
Or a sock.
Yeah.
Nice.
But they can be a very large vulture or raven looking creature.
All right.
Again, the dead giveaway is it's really big.
Yeah. The tick tick and walk, that's actually the sound that they make when they're coming up on their prey.
Kind of like the ahul.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, they are the most powerful at night.
Just going back to the sound that they make.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing where when they're chasing you, they'll actually get quieter as they get closer,
Yep.
making you think that they're,
Yeah.
further away, and that's when
They're
they strike.
tricksy like rabbits.
Right.
Like-
Or
like
they'll make it
velociraptors.
sound like they're really close because they're far away. They're tricksters.
Yeah. Now, they're the most powerful at night, and their powers tend to be reduced during the day.
Which is kind of vampire lore. In the movie Dracula, that he could walk around the day with his funky glasses and his top hat. Sun didn't bother him. He just didn't have full
Right.
power.
Right.
Well, actually, there's a bit of a story behind that.
Okay.
So the Aswang is there's a pair of
Aswang.
gods. There's a pair of gods or spirits, and I forgot what the daytime spirit was called. But there was two main spirits that ruled kind of over the Philippines. There's this day spirit and there's this night spirit, and the night spirit is the Aswang. Okay, and
I mean, the day man and the night man?
I don't know, maybe. But there was a battle between the
It's
two.
always sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, there was a battle between the two of them where the Aswang was trying to get fire to the people of the Philippine Islands, and so they had this large battle where the day spirit was preventing the Aswang from doing that, and the Aswang took fire and concealed it in a coconut. and brought it to the people of the Philippine Islands. So from there on, now that the fire was in the hands of the people, that solidified. It's like it was kind of seeding to the area. So the Aswang that's why it's the ruler of the night, because it's where it flourished. It was like a sun and moon kind of a mythology. Okay. So yeah, and it kind of goes back even before that, which is cool. Is that in the war between God and the devil? Okay, when Lucifer fell from heaven with the other angels and whatnot, the Aswangs there was a middle group, there was a neutral party that didn't fight in the big giant battle where Lucifer got dismissed and sent to hell. The neutral party were the Aswangs.
Okay.
They didn't side with either side. They just kind of hung out and drank some beer and rolled a fatty and enjoyed the show. And at the end, God was like, "You suck too. You didn't help. Get out of here. You're the Aswangs."
Okay.
So, being a neutral party and being somewhat benevolent to give humans fire and all that doesn't
But
sound
that was
like
against the Aswang shouldn't have done that. Though.
right. But that sounds like completely against the concept of I'm going to go eat fetuses. Type
Yeah.
Right, they are the epitome of demons.
Yeah.
So why would they sit it out?
They just didn't want to deal with. They didn't want to deal with the battle. They, for some reason, and that I didn't.
Or were they waiting to see who won?
They were waiting to
Yeah.
see who won, and because they didn't participate, they were expelled from heaven.
That's what happened to in Dogma. Jason Lee's
Yeah.
character
Yes.
was a muse. He chose to stay neutral and then got banished to hell.
Yeah, just like that. And then
Just like
it is. And then because the Aswangs came down to the Philippine Islands, I can't remember the name of the other one. I wish I knew that. And they had the battle. Because the Aswangs brought fire to the Philippine Islands, the Aswang was condemned to the night, and that's when the Aswang kind of, it wasn't a good and evil kind of a situation, but that's when the Aswang decided that the only way they would let the people of the Philippines know, because it was nighttime, was by becoming these creatures.
Okay.
And then the Philippines was invaded by the Spanish, the English, I think there was one other group, and then that kind of morphed into this whole thing about being bad and vampires and creatures
Yeah.
of the night.
Yeah, they're described as being inherently evil.
Thank you.
A round of
Yeah.
applause for Nash.
Yeah. It wasn't incoherent. It was pretty decent.
Yeah.
You can always
He did
tell
pretty
when
good.
Nash actually looks stuff up.
So they're evil with no motives other than eating other creatures. They will even eat and attack and eat other Aswang. Like they'll eat themselves.
They're just like when you see vampires, and they're just like the super bad. They're just mindless killers.
Yeah, they are known to turn into a human during the day with long hair, long dark hair that covers their bloodshot eyes. And of course, their bloodshot eyes is because they're up all night looking.
Smoking weed.
Well,
I mean,
that too, but
Yeah.
we all know how you get bloodshot eyes.
Yeah. We're all very well versed on.
I'm surprised the Aswang.
Oswald.
Well, Nash continues
know.
to say it a certain way,
I know.
hoping I
You'll get it. I'll bring you there.
think they discovered Visine by now
You would think.
to help disguise themselves.
Yeah.
Or contact lenses.
Okay.
Or sunglasses.
They can be very thin and hide even behind like bamboo.
Right.
Like two-dimensional almost.
I don't know.
So I've often tried to hide behind a tree.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It looks like Nash is trying to hide behind the tree.
Even when I turn sideways for some reason, it still doesn't work.
It gets worse.
Yeah, I saw that same thing, and I'm thinking they have to turn sideways. That they're that kind of thin.
Probably.
But that's really thin.
Yeah.
But that means like a stiff breeze will knock them out. Just blow them away.
Possibly. They can replace their victims with doppelgangers.
This is the thing that freaked me out.
I
most.
know. That they make from plants or tree trunks.
Awesome.
This doppelganger then will return to the victim's home and then become sick and die. So I don't really quite understand the whole point.
Well, I guess it fools the family. No one's going
True.
to come looking for the Aswang
Oh,
Right.
no, you're right.
because there's nothing to worry about. Oh, my husband came home. Oh, shoot, he's dying. They never would suspect
right.
that
yeah.
it was taken and eaten.
And I would also say that is not the point, but what the Aswang is now. My thinking is that the Aswang is now turned into a creature to where it just wants to bring. It doesn't want to, but it brings pain and suffering.
Mm-hmm.
So it is doing. It seems to have like cornered the market on how to screw up, people's lives.
True.
And really screw every possible way that you can imagine. So I imagine if you're going to create a doppelganger and the family is a relatively happy family, the best thing you could do to disrupt and hurt that family is to send somebody home who's sick and dying.
Right.
And it brings
You not
pain and
only
suffering.
ate the family's loved one, you sent a doppelganger, and then they had to watch that what they think is their loved one die.
Right.
Yeah, this is causing pain and suffering.
And I'm wondering if that is followed up by more eating of the family now.
Probably. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, and this is technically a spoiler, but I don't think anybody's going to watch it. The recent Halo series,
Oh.
that is what they were doing. They were stealing kids.
They
to
were eating
become,
people?
No, stealing kids to become
Viscera
the
eating?
Master Chief, whatever. But they would
Well,
replace them with
so
clones.
well, I'm
That
done
is
watching that now.
but
It's
that-
spoiled.
But that is in the regular Halo lore, though.
Right.
Of them abducting children and then putting them
But they
through
would
this program.
replace them with a clone who would die within a few weeks. They would
I
start
didn't
having
know that.
seizures and they would die. And
Oh.
it's like when I was reading about that, it's like, okay, not only is that creepy, but
Right.
wow, I
That's
wonder if
kind-
that's how they
that's
got that
pretty dark.
storyline. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it is a common belief that if the Aswang holds its mouth close to a person's mouth, then they will eventually become one of them. It is also known, it's also how they pass their power, I guess, on to...
Like if they're close talking with somebody?
Well, if they, I'm assuming, yes. Yes.
So
I guess in a way.
this is a perfect thing for the COVID-19,
Yeah.
6
foot, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so like
How do you know if it's an Aswang when they try to get within 6 foot of you?
It was a
close talker.
It was a really tough year and a half for the Aswang.
Now, I have to say there's more to that, but for that it's the how you can become an Aswang on your own.
Okay.
And Nash, did you have something you wanted to bring up on that? I don't
Yes.
want to steal it from you.
Yes, I did. If for whatever reason you want to become one of these, there's a multi-step process. What I came across, and I don't know. Does yours have to do with eggs?
Yes.
Okay. So what you do? This is the process. Okay. So you get a couple of fertilized eggs,
Chicken eggs.
chicken eggs. Okay, and you bury them. Okay. Then.
Oh, that's different.
That's
so I have
different
something
than what,
different, but-
yeah, but
okay,
go ahead.
So you bury them. Then on the following Good Friday, you dig up these eggs, this pair of fertilized eggs that have been buried.
On a Friday, or does it have to be
On
Good Friday?
It's got to be Good Friday.
So you can only do this once a year.
Yeah. So there could be a rush of eggs being dug up at cemeteries on Good
Okay.
Friday for some reason. Then you take one of each eggs and you put it under each one of your arms.
Okay.
Okay. Then when it's under your arm, then you look up and you stare at the moon until the eggs are gone. When that happens, then you are now an Aswang.
Okay.
Okay.
Dave, I'm assuming we found the one where you can tie it to your belly.
Yes.
Okay, go.
Oh, what is that? Oh,
Okay, so you take fertilized chicken egg, and you tie it to your stomach, and
Ash, grab me one.
after some time, the chick inside the fertilized egg passes into your stomach.
Oh.
And once this has happened, you take the remaining eggshell and you bury it in a bamboo tube along with coconut oil and chicken dung, and now you're an Aswang.
Oh.
wait. So the
Go ahead.
the chicken gets in you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I brought this up at this point, because
The chicken gets in you?
when it's dying and it wants to pass its powers on and it gets close, the chick jumps out of its stomach, out of its mouth, into the other person's mouth, goes into its stomach, and that's how it
Okay.
transfers its powers.
Wow.
It's all around this chick in the stomach is the
Let me this is new to me. I gotta think about this. So you take an egg and you put it to your stomach.
You
Right.
tie it, yeah. So it's
tie
got to
it-
be there for a bit.
yeah.
So you tie this egg to your stomach, and then then you absorb
Yes.
the chicken. Okay.
Okay.
The baby chick.
The egg
unborn
included?
chick. No. You have the leftover eggshell, and you put that in a bamboo tube with coconut oil and chicken dung to finish.
You burn. You just burn that like an incense kind of a thing.
What's so hard to understand?
It's buried. You
bury that.
Yeah.
But you have the Aswang chicken, the Aswang chick.
right.
So if that doesn't happen, then you just need to mouth sex an Aswang as they're dying, and they'll give you a chicken.
Yes.
Okay.
From their
Which
stomach.
sounds like a much easier way.
right.
Now, and it does sound like a lot of these Aswangs could be, attractive, long, beautiful haired, Filipino girls, which are supposed to be very, very attractive. So, I mean, there could be a lot more Aswangs out there than we know about.
Right.
Boy.
Yeah. But they have red eyes, though.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I mean,
Bloodshot. Yeah.
I mean, do you want to know how you could figure out if somebody is an Aswang?
Sure.
Yes.
What?
Well, I'll give you
Besides them stuffing a chicken in your mouth as you're giving some smoochie.
If you have coconut oil and you're around an Aswang, it'll start to bubble and steam off.
The coconut oil.
Yeah, so always
Not
carry
the
coconut
Aswang.
oil with you.
Not the
Well,
Aswang.
I have. You can make it's anti-Aswang oil,
Ooh.
but it's from a coconut. So let me just give you all of the
Okay.
because this is
This is
very.
if you do any research on the Aswang, it is as convoluted
I
as this
know.
conversation.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to go through how you can tell if someone's an Aswang.
Oh, well, can I tell you how to make the oil?
I was going to tell you how to identify an Aswang.
All right, fine.
Go ahead, make the oil.
No,
you go.
no.
So you have the coconut or the coconut oil.
Okay. So you select a coconut, you watch it grow.
The coconut.
Yes. So you don't pick it yet,
Right.
but you pick it at twilight during a full moon
Okay.
when it is wet and gloomy.
So it's rainy.
Okay.
Is it coconut in Seattle?
Okay. And a nice breeze is occurring.
Oh.
So you grate the coconut, squeeze all the juice out, and then boil it until it becomes an oil.
Okay.
You have to throw the waste into the ocean and recite a prayer. And then
the waste, you mean like the coconut and the husk and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Stuff. So now you have the coconut oil.
Yes.
And you throw all the stuff in the water.
Yeah. Then you must hang it in the doorway of your house.
The oil?
Yes.
Okay.
And it will boil if one is near. So
Okay.
there you go. Anti-Aswang oil.
Coconut oil.
Yeah.
Another great way is with your pet, your dog, because dogs will bark at an Aswang. Sometimes in the middle of the night, they'll be barking at something that you cannot see. Hence, an Aswang is nearby.
And pigs. Dogs and pigs.
Now, a pig too? I mean, my dog barks at everything. So for
Yeah.
for all purposes, it's always barking at an
They
Aswang.
said that mostly around the perimeter of every house in the Philippines is a dog or a pig. And they're out there specifically for this reason.
To patrol the perimeter.
Yeah, to guard.
I like it.
Yeah.
Just like in the Lost Boys.
If you see somebody that's looking at pregnant women as if it's a buffet, that's probably an Aswang.
Oh my
Or
goodness.
ask something else.
This has already came up, but if you're looking in somebody's eyes, deep into their eyes, and your reflection appears upside down.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you don't want to get that close to somebody, because, you don't want to have it make you an Aswang by being too mouth close.
Right.
You can just simply bend over
What?
and look at them between your legs, and that way you can see their true identity.
Hold on. Okay. Hold on. So,
Yeah, bend over
okay.
and look between your legs.
So if I do something like this.
Yep, you got it.
I
Yep,
do like
yep.
this when I look at you. Do I have to look at their face?
Well, you'll be able to see their true identity once you bend over and look between your
All
legs.
I see is knee down from that point.
Yeah.
That you couldn't really hear me say that.
Yeah, but maybe
Does it say like, okay, so you'll see that somebody's true identity if you bend over and you look at their face.
look at them between your legs.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be able, maybe their legs. Maybe you can only see their legs. They'll be,
Can anybody look? When they do that? Can any of us here, when you bend over and do that, can you see anywhere above somebody's waist?
I mean, we could do that off there,
I think we should do it right now.
but
I just tried
yeah.
it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm more flexible than you.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of rotund going on. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of chickens in there. I'm just saying.
These are just tips. You know, we don't have to try to do every single one I'm bringing up here. Okay, listen to eerie noises around your house. If it sounds far, then they're near. Dave already had that one. That's because they love to trick their victims.
Yep.
But maybe you can also just hear noises that are far away and
Think that they're far away.
Right.
Oh, here's another way to identify this. I swear to God, I found this list on the internet. If you see something eating a human, it's probably an Aswang.
Okay.
I mean, that's actually
There you go.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
And if you see a suspicious-looking person hanging around where there's the terminally ill or, again, pregnant women, they may be an Aswang.
Doctors.
Well, I said creepy-looking.
Doctors.
Okay.
So, I have a few countermeasures.
Okay.
So, like, if you want to fight back or kill them, obviously.
I have a list of also the recommended weapons.
Ooh.
So,
Okay.
Those are the countermeasures
So
first.
go through and I'll
Yeah.
see if
Okay.
I could pepper these in.
Okay.
So we all know how to arm ourselves.
Right.
Aswang generally have a fear of light as well as oppose loud noises. So funerals and wakes are usually brightly lit to keep them away.
Okay.
With a heavy metal soundtrack.
Right.
Nice. Yeah, so that's the PSA right there.
Right.
At your funeral, at the wake and the showing and the whole 9 yards, man, you got to crank it up.
Yep.
Hardcore.
Now, you can use holy objects, salt, apparently the tail of a stingray.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Yep. Large crustaceans.
A whip made from the tail of a
Oh,
stingray.
whip. Nice.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vinegar.
Large crustaceans.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Were you just chucking lobsters at them?
well, that's all things like you could get it out of the grocery store. You go get some king crab legs at the grocery store and you start throwing king crab legs at it. Does that
They
work?
would never make it to the battle. Nashi would eat them before.
I'm like, hold on, I got to hollow this out. This is some good stuff. Got some butter on you.
And the last one to protect yourself, you can use urine.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Cover
you-
yourself in urine.
Yeah, see, I'm pretty sure if you cover yourself in piss, you can ward off just about everything.
I think so too. Now, to protect your pregnant wife and unborn child.
Pee on them too?
No.
Oh. But that should work.
But that should,
that should work.
work.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a couple methods that have been created. The first, the husband remains under the house,
What?
naked, while furiously waving a
Furiously
sword.
what? What's it?
He's furiously waving his sword.
Yeah.
Naked underneath the house.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Like, I've heard of sword fighting before, but this is a little
I know.
different than that.
For how long? Like,
As
long as it takes, Dave.
Yeah.
And it's not in the basement; it's under the house.
Under the house. Because I feel like their houses are raised a little bit.
Okay.
Probably
Okay.
for flooding and stuff like that. But
But why naked?
I don't know.
Where would you where would you hold your sword if you're not?
Well, you're
standing there?
furiously waving it. So,
Yep.
Okay. All right.
so you don't need to put it anywhere because you're furiously waving it. Anyway. The second way.
Crazy eights.
I just feel like the neighbors are like,
Circle
what is he
technique.
doing? Oh, no, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's to ward off the...
He's
Are you
afraid.
sure that's what he's doing?
He's afraid of an Aswang, and he doesn't want to pee on himself.
The second way is to take sharp sticks and knives. They insert them in the bamboo house floor.
Oh, that's nice.
And that keeps them from skulking underneath the house.
Wait, so pointing down through.
Yeah, so
I see.
Yeah.
So if they stand up, they get skewered on the head. Okay.
Now for witch,
You got to be careful
But
when you're
don't-
down there waving
but
your
don't-
sword around.
That's what I'm saying. Don't mix those two because you're naked.
I know. For witch Aswangs, you can use your bolo knife and stab them in the middle of their back. Okay, and if you miss, it might lick its wounds and heal itself.
Yeah, because
That's why you got to do it in the back where it's tongue. You
Yeah.
can't get to it.
because it's the saliva. It's used to heal itself. That's what it is. It's about.
Yeah. So once you've killed it, you need to bury the knife then. So, but
So it's not like a vampire where you need to leave the stake in the heart. You can hit it in a special spot, in the G spot in the back, and then take your knife out. It's dead. bury it, do whatever you got to do, and then you can reuse the knife.
Yeah. No, you have to bury the knife.
Oh, you have to bury the knife?
Yeah.
So only one use
Yeah.
of the knife.
One use.
Yeah, my list has most of that you got, but these are the things to take into battle. We got the stingray tail that Dave, you said needs to be a whip. Holy water.
Okay.
Yeah.
No brainer. Salt. If I learned anything from Supernatural.
I know.
Salt and garlic.
Yep. Bamboo spears. Makes a lot of sense.
Right.
A wooden peg.
Yep.
You know, staking things through the heart. That makes sense. I would say guns and bullets. That makes a ton of sense.
Right.
I mean, they haven't brought that up a lot, but I think the guns and bullets probably help you against an Aswang. Boiling water.
Okay.
Ooh.
Now, I don't know which one of us is running into battle with the pot of boiling water. I'm not doing that.
So we would need to come up with roles. So one of us would need to be naked under the house with the sword, and then the other one would be armed with the boiling water.
Well,
This
nobody
is all
here
going
is-
bad.
We're not going to have spouses that are pregnant.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we don't need to worry about that.
I don't know, Alicia. I mean,
I am not.
Yeah, you
You're-
shut your
you're-
mouth right now.
No,
No,
that's
no,
not what
no.
I'm saying. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that, you're an attractive woman. You got long, dark hair. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, I think I should pee on Mark and Dave.
Okay.
To keep them safe from you.
Okay.
Potentially from you.
And the last item on the list that we take into battle against an Aswang is a bolo, which you already talked about. But Nash and I were having a discussion. We always thought a bolo was the two balls on a string that you spit around
Yeah.
and then throw at somebody.
Yeah, and then you get them in the feet and they go, ooh. And they,
Dave, can you solve the mystery?
the bolo mystery?
What weapon Nash and I... Well, Bolo was also the name of the character in Enter the Dragon that Bruce Lee had to fight.
That's right. That's
The
right.
big dude.
The big,
Bolo?
the big pecs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and
Was
I
that-
also,
oh, right, yeah, it was Bolo, right? Yeah. Okay, Dave.
I also was thinking the same thing. And that's, although that might be a bola. Is that where we're?
That might be what it is. Did
Yeah.
you look it up?
But a bolo is, in definition, a large single-edged knife used in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And given that we're talking about a Filipino
Right.
I
creature,
wonder
makes
if you
sense
could
that's
use
the
a
right-
now.
Or is it a bolero? Wait, we got to solve this.
No,
What-
bolero is something different completely. But also a bolo is a name for a bolo, a type of tie, a type of necktie. It's called a bolo tie.
Right?
So I'm wondering if you could take a bolo tie and stab him. If he comes to the west, or she comes to the west, you could stab with a bolo tie because that's also called a bolo.
A bola. So bolo is B-O-L-O. Bola, B-O-L-A. A cord with weights attached to the ends for throwing and entangling an animal.
Okay. I
So-
see our mistake. Yep.
Yep. Okay. So we should really assign roles, is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Okay. So, Mark, Dave, one of you has got to be underneath the house with the sword. All man
furiously waving our sword.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, buck naked. I'm going to have the hot water.
Well, so I was thinking the hot
What?
water would just be like hot oil on the parapet of the castle. Like you just have things up there boiling water all the time, and then when you need them,
You just
you just pull and
pull the string.
yep, down it comes.
Well, that's not. But it wasn't boiling oil. It was boiling water.
Boiling water. A pot of
I'm
boiling
saying
water.
use water instead of oil.
What was it? Now, what was the
The
oil part of it? Were you?
it will boil if one is near.
Right. So we would need the coconut oil and also to know that it's near, but then the weapons. Yeah, Nash, you could carry the pot of boiling water. I could see you running with that. I've seen you run.
I'll do the boiling water. One of you has got to have the bolo knife ready to roll, and then the other one has got to be naked underneath the house with the sword.
Well,
I think I think we make it, and you're doing recon with the oil to see if one is coming close.
Okay.
I mean, I think we're forgetting, like, if we're going in battle against an Aswang, why can't I have the guns and bullets?
That's way too. It's way too easy.
Oh, we're going to make it difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be
Isn't that
swinging
what
my
we
sword furiously.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right, I'll take it.
And I'll be running around with a giant pot of boiling water,
All right, well, that's how the Paranormal Punchers would go into battle.
right?
which sounds pretty on par with how we would do it.
And never be seen again.
Yep.
Now, I have just looking up things about attacks and trying to see if there's anything current. I did find a report from May 29th, 2015 about an Aswang attack. This was in the Minda News. It says Muslima was walking with her husband Abdullah to the public market before dawn when a huge dog attacked her from behind. She recalled that the dog bit her in the nape and upper arms. She said the extra big dog, had wide red eyes, sharp sets of teeth, and was very strong. Her husband came to her rescue as soon as the Aswang clamped down on his wife, and he started hitting it with a machete. But it continued to chomp on his wife's arm. And he said, I hit the dog several times, but my machete bounced back as if I was hacking a stone. I'm convinced it was not an ordinary dog, but an Aswang.
Did they survive? I mean,
I
obviously.
I forget. Oh, yeah, they were talking to the news.
Yeah.
Somebody had to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a machete won't do jack nothing. But he had the wrong
He
knife.
had the wrong weapon.
That's
Yep.
right. That's right.
Yep.
He needed a bolo.
That's right. Or a salt shaker.
Yeah.
Or some Morton salt.
He could have just peed on it, right?
Well, is that to protect?
Well,
a
no,
person
that's to protect you.
Oh, okay.
So, he could have started peeing on his wife.
while she was being attacked by a giant dog? This is all.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do to save your wife.
Sorry, honey. She's like, why is it wet now? It smells. Now, I also found that there's a town or I guess a village in the Philippines or a city. It's called Capiz. Capiz is the kind of the unofficial town of the Aswangs, where they're supposed to originate from. Now, it's not the largest metropolitan area, and there's kind of a discussion as to that Capiz is, even though it's a smaller village or town, that the Aswangs are going to be in the major metropolitan area because that's where they have the most resources and can do the most at night and whatnot. But something about the town of Capiz is where they're supposed to originate from, or when the Aswangs first started to show themselves, that's where they would come out of, was this small town. So yeah, so if you're ever in the Philippines,
So the small town, its major export was Aswangs?
Aswangs, yeah.
Do you know, is there a strip club there built on top of an ancient temple with Cheech Marin as the...
Nice.
For a second, I thought Dave was like planning a trip. Do you know if there's a strip club there?
Because I know if I'm going in there, I'm going to pee on myself first, and then I'm going to be good.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So what I'm gathering about this Aswang is that it's so many different varieties, from giant dogs to birds to witches to fetus stealing, half people bird things, and it can be really anything. I actually almost thought in the very beginning of this, is this almost like a Wendigo spirit kind of a thing, right? Yeah, I wasn't. You weren't the one on that one. That was me. To where like the Wendigo spirit would find somebody who's starving and then turn them into the Wendigo, or if it was something kind of more of a spirit that would possess somebody and do it that way. But the farther I got into it, I thought that's not really how it's supposed to go. It's supposed to actually like physically manifest in somebody with a chicken or some other craziness or. I don't know. It just really made me think of the Wendigo and how it's like it can be so many things. How can one spirit or whatnot be translated into so many different varieties of creatures? I don't know.
Right. Interesting thought.
I'm staying out of the Philippines.
The name Aswang, it actually comes from the Sanskrit word asura, which means demon. So, yeah. And you had mentioned that, like the war.
Right, right.
So I feel like because they're so evil, they are not necessarily a creature of this world, but of another. So.
Right. Yeah. I actually found another version where the name originated from. And the Aswang was comprised of two different parts. And it was the as was from asshole, and the wang was just because it wants to be a dick sometimes. Yeah. So they just combined the two together.
I knew 100%. 100% today you were going to do something. You were going to say something like that.
Yeah, because this guy's just a jerk in every way, shape, and form. Or this girl, it's not a guy, it's a girl.
It's a girl.
Yeah. So if you're in the Philippines and there's a very attractive Filipino young lady coming and to you, and she has long, beautiful hair, and she wants to kiss you, don't do it, because she could put a chicken in your mouth and you would become a demon.
Yeah.
Hey, that is
The more you know.
Lish, Anything else?
Just a couple like random things. I think there's a movie called.
There's a documentary I found.
Oh, a documentary. Okay, I thought there was a movie that came out, but maybe I'm wrong on that one.
No, you could be right.
There was an Aswang festival that started in the very end of October in 2004.
Does everybody run around furiously waving their swords and being on everybody?
That was
Heck of a festival.
started.
It was started, but
it stopped also.
Yes.
Yeah, it was started by like businessmen trying to attract tourists or something like that.
It was like it's like a Halloween fiesta. But the Catholic Church the Catholic Church condemned it, saying that they were adoring the devil.
Right.
So in 2007. So it only lasted 3 years, but it was stopped at that point. So,
looking up stuff about the Aswang, I did find something extremely interesting. I'd like to tell you guys.
do it.
This has nothing to do with the supernatural. This is something to do with the CIA.
Oh, are Aswangs leading the CIA?
So there was, the CIA
Is the A stand for Aswang?
had an Aswang army. Oh. Let me try to tell you this story. This has something to do with the. I'm going to mispronounce this. In fact, to all our friends in the Philippines, sorry
We are
for
so
all
sorry.
the mispronunciations of everything. Couldn't even say that word right.
I think we did pretty good on some
Of everything, and forgive us. This was the Hukbalahap Rebellion. So this is by former army dedicated to fighting the Japanese invaders in the Philippines. And then they decided they didn't like certain things that were happening in the Philippines, so they became rebels and were fighting against the Philippine government. That was like 1942, and it ended in 1954. Now, one of the reasons it ended was because of Air Force Brigadier General Edward G. Lansdale, who was a big believer in psychological operations.
Okay.
Or PSYOP for short. And apparently he also was a pioneer in this type of warfare. So he was CIA chief operative during the early 1950s with the counterinsurgency campaign against in the Philippines, the Huk Army, the Huk rebels. So what he did was create an Aswang army, slaughtered villagers, and picked off Huk rebels. And he described everything he did in his memoirs called In the Midst of Wars, An American's Mission to the Southeast Asia. But this is his own words from the book. A combat Psy-War squad was brought in. It planted stories among town residents of an Aswang living on the hill where the Huks were based. 2 nights later, after giving the stories time to make their way up to the hill camp, the Psy-War squad set up an ambush along the trail used by the Huks. When a Huk patrol came along the trail, the ambushers silently snatched the last man of the patrol, their move unseen in the dark night. They punctured his neck with 2 holes, vampire fashion, held the body up by the heels, drained it of blood, and put the corpse back on the trail. When the Huks returned to look for their missing man, they found the bloodless body, and every member of the patrol believed that the Aswang had got him, and that one of them would be next if they remained on that hill. When daylight came, the whole Huk squadron moved out of the vicinity.
Wow. That's pretty gruesome. That's
Yeah.
Wow. Picking them off one by one and
Yeah.
puncturing them in the jugular.
Yeah, but using the psychological warfare to the legend of the Aswang, the beliefs of the Filipinos,
Right.
to set the stage,
Right.
For killing somebody and making it look like,
Yeah.
pretty messed up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Some anthropologists, they actually believe that the Spaniards created the myth of the Aswang in the 1500s as a way to control the population, make them feel they were scared or whatever. Yeah, it was to control them and keep them in different areas.
Right.
But so
I did find 2 other explanations for how what this could be, but the one doesn't quite make sense. So there's a
Because like peeing on yourself makes a lot of
plenty of
sense.
well, so with this there's a disease known as XDP, X-linked dystonia Parkinsonism,
yeah, I did come across that too.
and it affects almost exclusively males from one region of the Philippines, and that the symptoms are something that are commonly found with Aswangs. So it says that that's one of those things that people who had this were being identified as Aswangs, and that's where it came from. But it doesn't go. We already talked about how most are women.
Right.
So
Right.
why is this all men? So I'm not quite sure on exactly with that. The other one was an interesting thing of basically rather than feel like how to, when they would come across a vicious murder or something, rather than feeling like, oh, I want to blame my fellow humans, we're just going to say it was an Aswang and just not worry about that there's somebody
Right.
else could be doing
gosh.
something
Yeah,
bad.
it also seemed like kind of like it's a scapegoat. It's like whatever
Yeah.
bad is happening in your
Yeah.
life, it's an Aswang, or that an Aswang caused that, or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Good.
Yep.
All right. Hey, why don't we take a quick break? We'll come back with any final thoughts, some listener paranormal experiences, and who knows what else. We'll be right back. And we're back. All right. The Aswang.
What? Is that Aswang? Aswang.
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 Aswang?
Aswang. Something in there. One of those.
Wow.
Probably
Wow. Have we just, that was it?
That was it.
Now, you wanted to have some final thoughts. There was something that popped in your head during the break.
Yeah,
And,
it popped in my head is I'm thinking, okay, so you picture your Filipino family, you know, your husband and wife, couple of kids, the whole 9 yards. You've got it all kind of yarded off. Your yard's kind of walled off for your dog and your pig, you know, to protect you guys. So, and the house is raised, so if you need to, you can run downstairs, strip down, grab your sword, and swing it around. Maybe the wife's into that. I don't know. But she can get the boiling water. Would it also be a really good idea to just... Does the urine that you pee on somebody have to be fresh?
why? How would we know?
I know.
Right? That's the big question. So if you went into a Filipino household, just a regular household, and you saw... amongst, like, in the refrigerator, I don't even know how you would store something like that. I don't know.
You put it in a jar.
Well, yeah, you'd have a bunch of big mason jars,
Okay.
like gallon jars or something, big jars filled with urine. So that if somebody comes at you, you can just not to spray on them, but to spray on each other. I'm envisioning visually in my head, walking into somebody's house, coming over for dinner, and I'm like, hey, how are you? Good. Oh, I see you have your urine jars on the wall, you know, a couple shelves full of urine.
Here's the holy water. Here's the
Here's the urine. You know, we've got the salt, we've got the urine, we've got the holy water. We got an oven that can get you boiling water in 6 minutes. We're going to be good to go.
So instead of making like jellies and jams, they're putting urine in their mason jars just for a rainy day or when you got to fight an Aswang.
Or I wonder if you could turn it into like lotion or something like that, like a suntan lotion.
You know, that is leading me to something I want to ask you guys. Would you drink your own pee?
No.
No.
Okay.
Anyway,
So I was listening to the Howard Stern show, and he was talking about this convention in Florida that he sent some of his interns to interview people. But it's all about drinking your own urine. It makes you healthier.
No, it doesn't.
And they rub it on their skin.
Okay.
They put drops of their pee in their eyes, and they drink it.
that's all kinds of wrong.
I know.
I was just thinking, like you know, maybe if there's an Aswang coming, you.
Oh, my answer is also no.
Yeah,
I will not drink my. I mean, I guess if you're in the desert and
Right.
that's what's going to keep you alive another day for the rescue party to come. I guess. Hope I didn't have asparagus.
I honestly don't know. But I don't believe it's hydrating.
Or some
but
vitamins.
you can get water from it. I mean, that's how, like,
Yeah.
the International Space Station, it's recycling all of that. And
So every astronaut
is
drink a pee.
Yeah, but it's potable
It's filtered.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not pee at that point.
Right, Tony Stark in the Iron Man suit.
Right.
You know, he filtered his urine so he could drink it.
Yeah.
And they did that in Dune also.
So that's why I didn't answer on this yet. So from yes, if I was a astronaut and I was drinking recycled
Right.
water, yes, but no, not. I'm going to drink it fresh and
Right, for health benefits.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like you have the suntan lotion that you can wipe on, but they also have like aerosol suntan lotion.
Well, so I don't think it would go to that because on the when they the sailing ships, pirate ships, so this kind of thing, they would actually everyone would pee in the same barrel bucket, and in the sun that would reduce down and become ammonia that they would then use for swabbing the decks. So you're just going to get like concentrated ammonia out of it.
Okay, yeah, because I wonder
That
what
whole
it,
ship had to smell like piss.
I know.
Right. Yeah.
It's so gross to me.
I wonder what it is that keeps the Aswang away. Because is it the ammonia? Is it the urea that's in there?
I don't know, but now it makes me think that to answer your question, I think it's got to be fresh.
You know, because it's like
So before we go into battle, like I guess we just got to pee on each other.
you got to have a few beers.
A few beers.
Yeah, we do a joint urination. Yeah, I'm just thinking that like so. Right now, I'm a little sunburned. Dave, you're a little sunburned.
Right.
But one of the ingredients for like the banana boat, the green gel to heal your sunburn is urea. There's urea in that. It's one of the big active ingredients to reduce sunburn. So, is it the urea that's in your urine?
Is that why you, if you get stung by a jellyfish,
Right.
if you pee on it,
Right.
it makes it feel better? Oh, you're pretty sunburned, bro. You want me to?
You got a whiz? You got a whiz? Yeah, just on my left side though. Dave, you're full body, brother. Sorry. You're getting the whole shower.
Wow, I did not think we'd actually get
know.
to this point.
Or just like
with the
aerosol
topic
it,
today.
like the SPF 50. You could put it in a sun, because you could just aerosol stuff on now. Why can't you aerosol pee?
Because there's not a market for that.
Well, you're probably right. I'm just thinking that in the Philippines,
Not
they
probably.
might
We
have
would
that.
make
He
it,
is right.
yes, yeah. If you're fighting Aswangs, I mean, that would make it the whole thing easier.
Could we do
Can we?
an aerosol Aswang protected pee spray
Brought to you by
Paranormal Punchers, only sold in the Philippines?
Oh my god.
Why not?
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Copyright. No, nobody can take that now. That's our idea. It's a group idea. We're all going to be millionaires off of aerosol urine.
Would there be a line though, like you could get the Nash pee
Oh
or
god.
Dave?
different
like these
scents.
Different, yeah.
Oh my god.
Right. Someone's got to be mountain fresh. Somebody's got to be roses and floral.
I
Sorry,
don't think
Alicia,
that's how
you.
it works.
Why not? Maybe it's all about we got to sell it. See, we got to come up with our own flavors.
Right, but they would be like, I've had too much coffee.
That
Yeah.
so
Day
something
after
else happened.
hangover.
with
Too many
coffee.
IPAs would be the dank spray.
Right, yeah.
Oh god.
And one is just asparagus.
Ugh.
Well, we better get to listener paranormal
I know.
stories
I know.
before this show really goes downhill.
You sure it hasn't already?
Oh, it may have. It may have. For everybody still hanging out with us, we got some listener paranormal experiences and feedback, stuff like that. All right. So here we go. Heard from Brendan. Hey, guys. Brendan from Jersey on the Rocks. Thought I would share something a little creepy that just happened to me this past weekend. My girlfriend and I drove to PA for a wedding near Pottsville. So after a night of shenanigans, we went back to our less than desirable hotel. She had just gotten her nails done for the wedding, so they were perfect for back scratching. So of course,
Oh.
I collected my back scratch tax from her. After she was done, she said how red my back was, so she took a picture, and that was that. The next morning, I woke up and said to her, "Wow, I had such a weird dream last night. It was so real. A man was standing at the end of the bed, just staring at us. In my dream, he was just standing there, and I woke up in my dream and stared at him back. And he was maybe 6 foot tall. 6'2", actually. Give or take an inch. Skinny and had a wrinkled face and shorter gray hair. She said, wow, that was weird. Now today, 4 days later, she says that she had a confession. The picture she took had something in it, and she didn't want to tell me, but after hearing my dream, she had to. She said there was a large orb captured above me and behind me. I'll send the picture so you can see it for yourself. I'm starting to think that my dream wasn't actually a dream. Needless to say, we won't be staying there again.
Yeah.
So his back, he sent a picture over, and it looks pretty scratched up. Like,
Yeah, it looks pretty bad.
yeah, not like it would be just done by her nails, like something else.
Something was going to town on him.
Yeah, then maybe this strange, skinny, 6-foot guy that's just standing at the edge of his bed looking at him.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Interesting, though, because the Shadow Man just loves to stand at the edge of the bed.
Yeah, but they don't.
And
They
watch,
don't,
but
they won't-
this person had gray hair. It's pretty freaky.
Yeah, that sounds more like a full apparition than the Shadow Man. Because if he could get height and what it looked like, because the Shadow Man just looks like a shadow, isn't it? Just a silhouette of a shadow. Mm-hmm. But he got full like gray hair, the whole 9
Yeah.
yards, and it scratched up his back.
Right. I mean, I'm envisioning
That's a
the
poltergeist
guy
thing.
from Poltergeist. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's because if it's not just a ghost or an orb, that's something actually causing physical damage.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Brendan. And boy, I hope you're okay. And yeah, never, ever, ever, ever stay
Right.
No.
at that hotel again.
Yeah.
And we heard from Candace. I thoroughly enjoyed the Point Lookout Lighthouse episode. The listener story from Indiana Johnny particularly caught my interest. He told the story of his dad as a pastor accounting for paranormal activity at their church. I'm a pastor's kid, too, and work alongside my parents in our church. I can tell you right now that a church can absolutely be the scene for paranormal activity.
Okay.
My dad told me this story once about a time when he and another pastor of ours were in the church late one Saturday night, setting up sound equipment for the service the next day. This was probably in the early to mid-90s, and he and the other pastor were the only ones in the building at the time. He said the power unexpectedly went out, and at one point in the night, and over the sound system, which again had no power, they heard a loud, blood-curdling scream. There was no way someone could have rigged it to do that without power to the building. My dad feels it was something trying to scare them out of whatever they were planning for the next day's service. That's not the only paranormal thing that happens under the roof of our church, but that's probably the most pronounced one I can recall him talking about. It just makes me want to create a story about paranormal pastors. LOL. And then she says in parentheses, that's stupid. Like, no, do it. Write the stories. Thanks for another awesome show. You're my favorite podcast.
Aw,
Lady
thank
Candace.
you.
Thank you, Candace.
Yes, thank you.
Hope you and your family are doing well. Thanks for sharing that story. So yeah, Nash, I know you would ask, like, why would a church be haunted? But before you answer, because we got Candace's story, we also got Indiana Johnny answering you back, Nash.
Okay, cool.
Hey guys, in reference to Nash wondering about if a church can be haunted, I can tell you from experience and stories I've heard from trusted sources, church buildings can and do have hauntings, and can be some of the creepiest places after hours. According to the Bible, the church doesn't really refer to a building, but to the Christian community as a whole. So in my view, the building would be hallowed ground when the church, the people, are gathered there. And any other time, it's just another building.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought if it was hallowed ground, that it was like it just maintained that status the whole time.
But that's interesting.
Yeah.
As thought. And also, Candace's story about that, which was very strange.
Yeah.
Right.
So there you go, Nash. It doesn't matter if it's a church or not. Anything can be haunted, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, I always thought that churches were kind of like they're like the pros. They're the pros who should be able to.
Yeah.
I figured if anybody could do it, I mean, that they would be able to like keep a church free of that. But I guess I don't know. That's news to me. That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's good to know. I wonder if it's like an older building or something like that, because of a newer church. But that's really good information. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your stories with us.
Definitely.
If you would like to share your paranormal experience, just go to paranormalpunchers.com. You'll find all the ways to contact us. We would love to hear from you. And anything else, my friends.
I'm gonna start storing my pee.
Oh my God.
You're gonna workshop that idea of
Yeah.
an aerosol spray.
The aerosol sprayer. We got the suntan lotion sprayers. I think we can get it done. I mean, if worst case scenario, you could just put it in a spray bottle, a little spritzer spray bottle, just
Ew.
yeah, it's disgusting, right?
I know.
But in
Then why do you keep talking?
I know.
But in the Philippines, they would buy it. You think you bottle it and sell it for $8.95?
Right. So you think everybody in the Philippines want to just figure out how to do it themselves?
Maybe not.
You think that they would by now already be really good at fighting an Aswang? That they wouldn't have already thought this up?
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. We're drinking beer from a can and I homebrew. So
That's why we're drinking beer from a can.
Burn.
And on that note, we cue the music. If it's not weird,
It's not worth checking out.